Did you mute this? Because it said recording in progress, but it only said it on here. Oh, it didn't say it on there. Yeah, I don't know if the
I'll check and see if the volume's
Good
down.
God morning, everyone. Good God. Loving this weather, huh?
No, his volume's up.
Okay.
So,
Well,
it's
welcome
It's
to the
recording. I just didn't know if
Positive
the sound
Living
was
Center.
coming from here or the other.
Anyone here for the first time in the audience?
I feel like it's my first time here.
Well, welcome back, Cheyenne. How about on Zoom? Anybody new on Zoom waving at us?
I don't see anybody new.
All veterans of the PLC.
Yes.
It's fabulous. Wonderful. I am Reverend Joe Bull. I'll be your host today. Our 2025 theme is remembering. I had to look down to see what it was. So it helps to have, a few hints here. The topic for May, Divine Feminine. It's going to be a great month for that. I can't wait to hear what everybody has to say about that topic. We're going to get into meditation right away, just to kind of get things started. Ask Cheyenne to lead us into a little music, and then we'll go into silent meditation. Good morning, Cheyenne.
Good morning.
Let's give her some love, huh? Okay.
Yeah, we're excited today. This is a Helen Knight song, just so you don't think it's mine. All I have to do is open my heart wider than ever before. All I have to do is open my heart wider than ever before. Into the horizons, across these lands, deep into the earth on which I stand. Into the horizons, across these lands, deep into the earth on which I stand. And all I have to do is open my heart wider than ever before. All I have to do is open my heart wider than ever before. Into the horizon, across these lands, and deep into the earth on which I stand. Into the horizon, across these lands, deep into the earth on which I stand. Yeah, all I have to do is open my heart wider than ever before. All I have to do brighter than ever before.
Thank you, God, for this day, this moment in time to honor the divine feminine, to connect with God's Spirit and the divine within all of us. All we have to do is open our heart wider and wider as we receive. We are so blessed to have each other and to have and know we are here on purpose. Let's say thank you, God, and so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you, Cheyenne.
You're welcome.
And it's time for a spiritual thought. I think I'll bring up Jacque Stringer up here for that. Let's give her some love, huh? Set you all up.
So, divine feminine. I'm not sure if I'm qualified. Usually I have the chance to hear other people talk a week or so ahead, but this is my first time going first. So, I don't know if I'm going to get this right, but I'm going to try.
Excuse.
Well, I did go to Wikipedia and I saw a picture of Lujuana there, so I was like, okay, that's divine feminine. No, actually, it was me. That's on me. Well, divine feminine, it's really not gender specific at all. It's an energy that we all carry, and it's a beautiful energy. It doesn't come easy. Usually it comes from a lot of work. I went into meditation because I wanted to get a definition that felt right to me. And I got 3 words. I got receive, replicate, and return. And what that means to me is if we look at the female form receives, it replicates, and it returns. So if you think of, you receive the seed, you make a child, and you birth a child. And that's what the divine feminine is. That's what the feminine is. So a lot of times I think of it as a mirror. Women are mirrors. Not just women, I should say the feminine quality that we all carry can be that we mirror each other. And so when I used to hear people say, men or women, oh, my ex was so crazy, she was psycho or he was psycho, I kind of go, I wonder. Usually that's a reciprocal. You usually get what you give. The divine feminine is like the soil, like Mother Earth. What you plant, she will sprout. So if you're going to plant beans, do not expect strawberries. You're not going to get them. You're just not going to get them. Now, a lot of times when we all go through things, we have traumas, and we heal those traumas. And I think the divine feminine is an exact replication of what it means to go through that. Because not only will she receive, not only will she replicate, not only will she return, a lot of times you will see people transmute. They'll be able to transmute power that comes to them, and it may not be the best thing, but he'll be able to transmute whatever that energy is coming towards them. And some of the qualities that are characteristics of the divine feminine are they're very nurturing, they're intuitive, creative, compassionate, and very resilient. Another word that came to me is reciprocal. Because you can see in mythology, we were actually talking about goddesses, and some of the goddesses don't give you a lot of warm and fuzzies, but they are considered divine feminine because they're there to teach us. And just like Mother Nature, she will receive, she will replicate, and she will return. And sometimes what you receive in return, you may not expect, but that's when we have to look inside of ourselves and wonder, what are we giving out in order to see this return? And in history, I love looking at different goddesses, just like Mary Magdalene was considered a divine feminine. You won't hear that in the Bible, but you'll definitely hear that if you or read that in other books. And she doesn't get enough credit, the divine feminine. And I think right now what's happening in the world is that we're seeing the birth of the divine feminine in everyone, in all of us. And that means that we're able to receive, we're able to replicate, return, transmute, and reciprocate. And that's what I got. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we all have the divine feminine in all of us. Part of the yin and yang connection between the male and female. Beautiful, Jackie, thank you. Cheyenne, you got another song for us?
Already?
Yeah.
I was still deciding which one I was going to play. Okay.
It'll come to you.
Well,
No.
okay, somebody pick. LJ, Feeling All Right or I Am by India Ari in beautiful chorus. Which one you want to hear first?
Yes.
I Am, that one? Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Right. Whoops. You know, I think I don't want to play guitar on this one. I think I just want to play Shaper and sing it without the guitar.
There you go.
Because that's what I feel like. Welcome magic and wonder, brilliance and grace. Welcome joy, satisfaction, pleasure and strength. Welcome essence, beauty, presence, time, spirit, form and space. Welcome excellence in every blessing, sacred and praise. What I seek, I have. What I wanna know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. Who I wanna be, I am. What I seek, I have. What I wanna know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. What I wanna be, I am. Ooh.
Welcome magic and wonder, brilliance and grace. Welcome joy, satisfaction, pleasure and strength. Welcome essence, beauty, presence, time, spirit, form and space. Welcome excellence in every blessing, sacred and praise. What I seek, I have. What I want to know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. Who I want to be, I am. What I seek, I have. What I want to know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. Who I want to be, I am. I am the seed, I am the tree, I am the flower and I am the bee. I am fire and I am wind. I accept love and also I give. I am loud and I am mighty. I am silent and I tread lightly. I am brave and monumental. I am honest, I am gentle. I'm student and I teach. I am the sand and I am the beach. I am peace and I am power. I am bridge and I am tower. I am reason, I am wild. I am mother, I am child. I am many, I am few. I am God and God is you. What I seek, I have. What I want to know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. Who I want to be, I am. What I seek, I have. What I want to know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. All I want to be, I am. Ooh, I am, I am, I am. Ooh, I am, I am, I am. Ooh, I am, I am. Ooh, 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 ooh. Thank you for listening.
Cheyenne Hernandez, what a gift you are. Thank you so much for your talents and your time. And you set the speaker right up for what she's going to be talking about this morning. Let's come up with Reverend Lujuana Bull, please. Let's give her a little love.
So good. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's see, am I at the back of the room? You can hear me well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm very excited about today. Today's a good one. It's already started out in a lovely fashion. We were chanting ahead of time and just feeling the divine feminine in those chants. We even picked one that has a specific about the divine feminine, the green Tara. So if you want to experience the green Tara, we'll be chanting that the rest of the month. Let's see here. Bob Hand, yes, you're there, right, Bob? Yep, okay. Bob Hand and I have been joking with each other because he used to get 3 topics to ignore. But since January, he's only been getting 1 topic. We have the annual theme of remembering, but he's been getting 1 topic per month. And and so I had this visual that popped into my head when I was meditating the other morning. And it was a visual of a child all over a jungle gym, just all over it. everywhere on the jungle gym. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's Bob, staying off topic. And then I go, wait a minute, that could be me on topic. So the whole idea that we just go where spirit, where our hearts, where our mind, where the unified field of us is led to go. And I love that. Another thing that came up for me was the years that I was in my career, and would we say we're going through challenging times? Great change in our lives and in the world. I feel it. And there are times that it feels like it's even more, and there's times that it feels a little more settled. There was a Jane Austen story, and it referred to, it feels like everything's just the same for years and years and years, and then it's not. It's not the same. Big change. Dramatic family changes happen. And it's different for all of us. Well, when it came to my career, there were some things that I would share with my clients to just take a little of the extra stress down a notch. And I thought I'd just open up on a couple of those. One is the story of the sky is falling. We call it Chicken Little. That's been around since Buddha's time. It's been around a very, very, very long time. To have that overwhelming feeling. I understand that in Buddha's time it was a rabbit, another small animal, but that feeling that, wow, it's just so much change. Another thing that I would explore with clients and for myself during big changes, upheaval, market. I was a financial advisor, so I helped people through market ups and downs. And usually the ups, they were pretty settled. The downs were a little rougher. And there was a mountain chart that I would look at. And this mountain chart had big news focal points for every year from 1934. So from 1934, every single year, a big news focal point. Most of them were closer to the sky is falling type of a feel. The thing is that there were ups, there were downs, there were a lot of these. Just to highlight a few. It started out 1934 with the Depression. Then we know that we had war clouds forming, war in Europe, Pearl Harbor, and all of those. I think we know the years that was involved. 1941 for Pearl Harbor, true. And then there were many, many, many more. Dow tops 300, market too high, 1954. There was Cuban Missile, civil rights marches. We know we had Watergate. New York City threatens bankruptcy. The thing is there was something every single year. Every single year there was something. And the purpose of showing myself this mountain chart was just so that I could recognize that there will always be the news focusing on a lot of things that we have no say about. And it's okay. We do what we can. We do from where we are. But getting swept up in the fear of it, for me, I knew wouldn't serve me in making my choices. Because the more fearful I am when I make choices, that gets bumpier. The more calm I can be when I make my choices, the better the choices I can make. There's another kind of business-related thing, and that was, what generation are we in? You know, we've been categorized. We've all been categorized as to what generation we happen to be in. And we have the greatest generation that was from 1901 to 27, silent generation. Boomers, 46 to 64. Gen X. Millennials, 81 to 96. Gen Z. Gen A.
Wait. You skipped the years for Gen X.
Oh, I did, didn't I? Well, that's because I'm going for speed.
Okay.
I'm going for speed, but I have all of them. So if anybody wants to know more about those years in the mountain chart or the years for the generation, see me afterwards and I'll email them to you.
Okay.
For me, I see in these categories that we've been assigned into with our respective human family. I see that we have this sameness and then we have this uniqueness. We're a new bunch doing our living, and in one way I wanted to speak about was we're not only what our times have brought us to experience and kind of influence us, but we are also what our times are calling for us to be. We're here for our times. I got it.
Yay.
We are. So now moving on to spring. Springing is springing and sprunging, and we've got some people here that know what to do with plants and flowers and trees. My tulip tree got moved over the winter, and thank you. And it, they're not the happiest sometimes when they get moved, but mine not only hung in there, and it also bloomed. And so that was really fun to witness. On the topic of plantings, we, as Jacque already mentioned, you know, if you whatever seed you plant, you get. Whatever seed we plant, we get. And if you plant carrots, you're going to get carrots. And there's a whole variety of carrots. It's amazing. And other plants too. You know, peppers. Gosh, I didn't know there were so many peppers. As an ignorant gardener, I did my own planting of carrots one time in my little garden. I was just so thrilled about it. It wasn't my first, when I planted the carrots, that wasn't my first garden. My first garden was actually invaded by a golden lab puppy that thought that the water running was for play and that the screen fenced around it was nothing, because that little puppy got behind and in and boom, 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 boom. Had so much fun destroying my garden. But it was my second attempt to do the carrots, my second attempt at gardening. And I went to work and I was, you know, all happy about the fact I got out and I got the garden going. And I told my coworker, and she says, "Did you consult the Farmer's Almanac when you planted those carrots?" And I go, "The what?" And she says, "Yeah, it lets you know the cycles and when it's ideal to plant maybe certain things at certain times." And I'm going, "Really?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, No, I didn't know about that." Well, needless to say, she was onto something that I was unaware of, because those carrots did not look that good, did not get that mighty. They were pretty wimpy carrots. And it lets us know the natural laws at work. And something that came up for me on the natural laws at work were sometimes people just know innately. You know, they just know. They come in with it. And I am amazed by that, in how many ways we are each coming in with something that's just such a gift that we share, each of us uniquely, blown away by the diversity of it, blown away by how natural it wears on each of us. Well, and sometimes there are people that they know it and they share it. And we know this, that what I'm going to say, I state the obvious so well. so well. Books. I've been reading them for years. I enjoy many people's perspectives. I enjoy biographies. I enjoy new thought. Oh, my goodness. The contemporaries, the ancients, lap it up. Just the other day, though, I had this feel. It was a feeling about every one of those books is a person's life. A person that's living it and loving it so much, whatever it is that they're sharing, loving this life so much, loving what they've learned, what they want, the knowledge they want to partake or give to others, and that they put it down on paper. Some maybe just to get a book written, but most because there's something that's moving them. And that, so any of you who's been writing and giving and sharing and singing and songwriting, thank you, thank you, thank you. So grateful to you. So those books are people's sharings, people's lives, people's expressions, people's discoveries. And for me, I should have picked up the almanac because it would have helped. Those pearls of knowledge. And sometimes people plain old struggle because we just don't know. Yet. We just don't know yet. And that's how it is until we do. I started learning how to sing at 42 years of age because I was really good at singing flat. Prior to that, I could sing the last note of a song, but everything in between was really weird. Really weird. People go, "Are you tone deaf?" I go, "No, I can hear how bad it is." And they go, "Well, don't know how to help you." I go, "Me neither." But I did take 9 years of lessons from someone who was further down the trail, further down the path of singing, and I can now oftentimes sing on the notes that are being sung. And it's very fun. So wonderful. And in my imagination, if there is such a thing as reincarnation, then I have got it for more innate singing next time. That was what the plan was.
Great.
Let's see, what else here? There is literally no shame in not knowing. We all have areas we know, and we all have areas we don't know.
And areas we don't know, we don't know.
And areas we don't know, we don't know. And so true. I consider that before. And it's just a part of living. Sometimes we're in the before, sometimes we're in it, and sometimes we're in the after. And then we got another before. Now, let's dig into some knowing that the soil has. And it's already been touched on by Jackie, but I'm just going to dive in anyway. Let's see here. Even though I planted those carrots in an inopportune time, the soil went to work on it. They went to work on them anyway. Didn't say no. Didn't reject the seeds. Didn't refuse. Didn't go, "You silly person, you just do not know." Nope, none of that. The soil definitely, consistently, reliably activates. Activates that seed. And the knowing in that seed is being nourished by that soil. And it helps to rest soil sometimes. We've heard about that. There's times that a field has to be, is it farrow? Did I say the wrong word? Rested. The field needs to be rested sometimes. Soil does. Different soil compositions work for different plants and trees. So the makeup of that soil matters for what's being grown in it, but it never refuses to activate and do what it does. Now, this is not only true about soil. It is also true about soul, the soul nature of us. Now, Ernest Holmes, he used several different words. He would speak of the soil activity type of relationship as not only soul, but also he used the word subjective. He used the word subconscious, not to be confused with unconscious. Subconscious just means it's under the surface. And he used the law. So our thoughts, seeds, and our feelings offer different conditions for those seeds, are activated and nourished by our soul nature. In other words, we are always planting with Creator, creating, creation into the divine design that we didn't make up, but we get to experience here in this living in this life. Now, some of the seeds we have planted, we may not, that are planted, may not have been planted by us intentionally. They may have been planted so long ago that we don't even know. We don't even know something is growing in our garden until we see what is growing. That's that mirror that was mentioned earlier, that our living is showing us what is going on within us, because it is we only get to live our own consciousness. Now, it takes courage to see what is growing, especially that we don't even remember ever planting. It is something that is making itself known to us, and we do courageously look at it. Sometimes we don't even have to do more than just courageously look at it. Don't tell a story about ourselves. Don't make something up about ourselves. Don't make anything up about somebody else. There's no shame, blame, fault finding. There's no being hard on ourselves. There's just looking at it. And sometimes that's all that's needed. As we awaken to our thoughts and feelings that we are planting, we can't help but pass on planting some that we already know what the outcome's going to be. Which, been there, don't need to do that again. And some we'll take great care with. We'll so consciously plant some seeds, so intentionally plant some thoughts. And some seeds will blow into our garden. And one day you might just let them stay and see what grows, just for fun. And another day you might pull that sucker out right away, just because you can. I just love that we're not trying to squeeze life out. We're just being conscious of the living we're doing. That's all. So the divine feminine is receptive, nourishing, and activating. We can rely on it. We can rely on her. We can rely on it. Divine feminine and divine masculine. Now this is something I really, really appreciate deeply. Divine feminine and divine masculine are aspects of the one life. The one life we are already living. Never separate. They are both self-existent and co-eternal with each other. Now, each of us has our own kind of lean. There's been studies about young kids, I've mentioned it in the past, where I think they were 3-year-olds, and they were presented with a barrier. It was just a barrier, just a see-through kind of plasticky barrier, but it was keeping them from their family. They're just standing alone, this little 3-year-old, in this kind of a test or experiment or whatever it is. And the little 3-year-old is not happy about that barrier at all. And a large majority of the masculine would push the barrier. but some scream their lungs out. And a large majority of the feminine would scream their lungs out, but some would push that barrier. And so we all have our degrees and beautiful uniqueness in how we show up as both masculine and feminine. And I am so grateful for that. I also have something, back to Bob. Back to Bob, I have something that Bob shared with me, and it is Prayers of the Cosmos, Neil Douglas Klotz. Anybody familiar with this one? Okay. It is Neil Donald Klotz does, Douglas, I said Donald, Douglas Klotz. He does a lot of work with Aramaic and the translations and interpretations that can be gleaned. And so from the Lord's Prayer, the first expression is Abun Deboah Shemaya. You want to say that with me? Abun Deboah Shemaya. And it's spelled A-B-W-O-O-N for Abun. And Deboah Shemaya is a little D, one of those little, and then B-W-A-S-H-M-A-Y-A. And it is on page 12, it is referencing the first line. So it is referencing the Father which art in heaven of the King James Version. But here are some of the interpretations from Neil Douglas Klotz. O birther, Father, Mother of the cosmos, respiration of all worlds, we hear you breathing in and out in silence. Source of sound in the roar and the whisper, in the breeze and the whirlwind, we hear your name. Radiant One, you shine within us, outside us, even darkness shines when we remember. I'm so grateful for all of us being exactly who we are. Life being exactly what it is. And this opportunity to grow together in community, to live this life in this time, and to see what shows up. It's a joy being in this spiritual journey with you. Namaste.
Thank you, Lujuana. She didn't exactly finish that story about our puppy that was in the middle of our garden. She was just a cute little puppy, and after seeing my wife's face looking at her garden that was now destroyed, I snatched up that puppy and I shielded her from Lujuana because I wasn't sure what she was thinking at that very moment. And everything turned out all right. She lived to be, 13? So, yeah, she did just fine. But she sure was having a good time.
She was having a blast. She had a blast that day.
She's like, thank you for putting this together.
So nice.
Oh, yeah. Can I have a couple of people come up and help me with offertory at this time?
I'll sing something.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Thank you, guys. Would you wait for a second? And let's do our offertory statement, please. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and increases all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, ushers.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Woo! Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Cheyenne. And I think everyone on Zoom knows how to send their offertory to us. If you are on the iFocus, open that up and you will see how easy it is to donate to the PLC. It's all the information is available to you right then and there. So, a prayer practitioner this week will be Jacque. She's available after service today as well. We also have our frog box in the back corner. If you want to write out a prayer request for someone, please do so and put it in that box. I collect those and I put out those prayers to all the ministers and practitioners. So please keep that in mind. And all of us are always available to you. You know, you guys already know this. So, but just a reminder. Announcements. Any announcements this morning? Cheyenne?
I just wanted to announce that Riverdance Farms in Livingston is having a Pick and Gather Festival. It's May 31st and June 1st, and there's going to be camping, river workshops, music, nature hikes, food, hay rides. The cherries are amazing. You can go pick buckets full of cherries from the trees and eat them. And so yeah, May 31st and June 1st, I have flyers that I'll put on the back table.
Thank you, Cheyenne.
You're welcome.
Okay, yes, John.
Next Saturday is the Flute Circle, 1:30 for beginners, 2 o'clock for all levels. At 3:30, the Drum Circle starts to get set up, and at 4, Reverend Judy leads the Drum Circle. And it's well attended. It's always a lot of fun and feels meaningful. Everybody's invited to all of that.
Yes, yes. Thank you, John, and thank you, Reverend Judy, for that. Fabulous, fabulous. Right after service today, we're going to have our annual meeting. It's going to be very succinct and short. We'd like for you all to stay and hear what's going on in the happenings of the PLC. So right after service today, the annual meeting. Okay? Any other announcements? Okay. Next week's speaker is the Reverend Bob Hand, and we get to hear what he has to say, especially about Reverend Lujuana. You guys seem to pick on each other.
Appreciate.
I'm sorry, appreciate each other. That's what I.
Well,
that's what I meant
that's
to
my
say.
side.
That's what I meant to say.
Except I'm not speaking in May.
Oh, except he's not speaking in May.
Oh, he's not.
No, he's not.
Well, that's news to me.
Surprise.
Yeah. Yes, Judy.
Reverend Judy is our speaker.
Reverend Judy will be our speaker next
Yes.
week. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Reverend Bob, for reminding me of that. You know, yeah. Anyway, try to keep up with everybody. Let's do our prayer protection, please. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The energy of God is me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Yes, yes, yes. Cheyenne, you have one final song for us?
Yes. And I would like to share a quote too that reminded me of LJ's talk.
Yeah.
This is a Patti Smith quote. It says, "I believe that this planet hasn't seen its golden age. Everybody says it's finished. Art's finished. Rock and roll is dead. God is dead. Forget that. This is my chance in the world. I didn't live back there in Mesopotamia. I wasn't there in the Garden of Eden. I wasn't there with Emperor Han. I'm right here, right now, and I want now to be the golden age. If only each generation would realize that the time for greatness is now, when they're alive. The time to flower is now."
Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful.
Okay, sing it if you know it. Here we go. It says capo, but I'm not going to worry about that.
I am so grateful for this life that I have to live. Oh, and I am so grateful for all that I have to give. For I live in a world of abundance, in a true never-ending source from above. Yes, I live in a world of abundance, with a life overflowing and a heart full of love. I am so grateful, for I know that my path is blessed by a love so full and graceful. I can trust in every step, for I live in a world of abundance, in a true never-ending source from above. Yes, I live in a world of abundance, with a life overflowing and a heart full of love. For I live in a world of abundance, in a true never-ending source from above. Yes, I live in a world of abundance, with a life overflowing and a heart full of love. For I live in a world of abundance, in a true never-ending source from above. Yes, I live in a world of abundance, with a life overflowing and a heart full of love. One more time. For I live in a world of abundance, in a true never-ending source from above. Yes, I live in a world of abundance, with a life overflowing and a heart full of love.
Yes, thank you, Cheyenne.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely a gift. Reverend Judy, will you come up and give us a closing prayer, please? And I'll remind you all, right for service, we'll start our meeting.
A closing and
Please.
opening prayer,
Stick
Judy.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
As we go out on our day, we take all the wisdom with us. We've been filled. We are full of love and abundance and life and joy, of peace, of inner healing and external healing in our world. Loving the people in all ways, with and without opinions, with and without judgment. We are the change, we are the shift, and we are the wonder of this world. Aho.
Thank you, Reverend. Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're.
Don't fight in front of the kids.